Welcome! It is Sunday, January 23rd, and we are at Pachaug State Forest in Voluntown. We're going to do an overnight backpacking trip. It's supposed to get down to 16 degrees tonight. Are we excited?
Excited about 16 degrees is probably not. I'm excited because we haven't camped yet this year, so I'm excited. I'm not super excited about like possible low of 12, but you know, whatever.
We can do this. We've got the gear.
I could have stayed home.
And this is your new backpack, which you haven't backpacked
Yeah,
with
I haven't
yet.
tested it out yet, so it's a test.
So it's a gear test night too. All right, let's get at it. We are in Pachaug State Forest. We are heading to our camp, which is the dry reservoir lean-to. It's funny. We have been winter camping. This will make our fourth winter. We started in 2019, right after we got warm enough quilts to winter backpack. And it always has a level of nervousness that camping in the other three seasons doesn't have because it's cold. Things freeze. Situations get dicey quicker than they do in warmer temperatures. But it's all part of the experience. And that's what we're looking to gain, is experience. And here in New England, you got to get a little creative to stay busy and to stay in the outdoors. A couple years ago, pretty much 2 years ago, right before COVID, my friend Rose and I took a winter backpacking course at the Appalachian Mountain Club in New Jersey. And we learned the difference between winter hiking and winter backpacking and hiking and backpacking in other seasons. And one of the biggest takeaways, when you stop, layer up. If you're not stopping to just take a bathroom break or straighten something out in your pack, layer up, even if you're not cold. Your body is a furnace, and layering up insulates the furnace. Just think of it like a house. You put your thermostat at a certain temperature, and the insulation of your house is going to help work with the thermostat to maintain that temperature. But once something changes in the dynamic, whether it's you don't have as much insulation or the temperature drops, it changes the dynamic. And something's got to work harder to get that heat back. So when you're hiking, your internal furnace is working and you're staying warm, even if you don't have all your layers on. But when you stop, you're no longer producing that heat. And the goal is to insulate what's already warm to keep you from losing body heat. Because once you lose body heat, it's harder to get it back in the winter than it is in the other seasons. Just a helpful tip. So the campsite that we're going to is dry reservoir lean-to. So it's going to be an Adirondack style 3-sided shelter. And the state of Connecticut DEEP lets people reserve them for free. They're in a lot of the different state forests in Connecticut. We're in the Voluntown area today. So that's eastern Connecticut, off Route 2, close to the Rhode Island border. It's going to be an easy hike. I believe that we're somewhere in the Mount Misery area. Mount Misery isn't a bad place unless you're hiking up it when it's 100 degrees outside like we were. And then Mount Misery leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But today it's pretty. We're enjoying it. It's an easy hike. We've got about 1.5 miles to our shelter. You get out, you move your body, stay busy in every season, and you just do the best that you can. And it all makes a difference. It all counts, especially for old broads like me. Another thing I love about being out in the woods in the winter is you can hear water even before you can see it. Right now it's probably not coming up on the camera, but there's just a stream or a body of water of some sort here. You can probably see it a little bit. And it's just dancing along, singing its song. It's one of the beautiful sounds of the outdoors. Okay, we'll be taking the Nehantic trail from here. I think it's gonna go near to our campsite. A short side trail takes us to the shelter. Get a look at it. So this is the dry reservoir lean-to. We are going to pitch tents somewhere around here. It's not bad. It's definitely not brand new, but it's in good condition. The roof still looks good. Big enough for probably maybe 4 people comfortably, I would say. 4 adults, maybe 6 people if half of them are kids. Yeah, not a bad place. We got here with a little bit of daylight left. That'll help us get camp set up and start looking for firewood. So here's our camp. Go in the shelter. Set your tent up right in the shelter. Do it. I dare you. There are tent sites here, but when you think of a flat spot, you need to use the term very loosely in this area. That's my tent. So in the summertime and the springtime and fall, we use our trekking pole tents, which we love. But in the wintertime, getting stakes in the ground that your tent depend on to stand in New England is kind of tough. So we have freestanding tents. Another thing about freestanding tents in the winter is if they have some fabric in them, then that provides a little more warmth. This is my Eureka. It's a 2-person tent. It's a Eureka Suma 2. And it's a good tent. Eureka makes good products, especially if you are just getting into backpacking or you don't have thousands of dollars to spend. Their products are made to last. They're a little heavier. But this tent is actually less than 4 pounds. And it's not really a 2-person tent. My dog and I fit in here, but I wouldn't put anyone else in here if it was maybe a small grandchild of mine or my dog. But for those purposes, it works out really well.
So here we are out in the woods, and I find this in my tent. Remnants of the last person who used my tent that shall remain unnamed. But here I am, out in the woods, and still cleaning up after my family.
Another benefit of camping in the colder temperatures, you don't need to use your fuel to heat up your water for your dinner. You got a fire with a fire expert. My firewood and your firewood sitting by the fire. My firewood said to your firewood, I'm gonna set your butt on fire. Talk about hey now.
Hey now.
Aiko aiko ane.
Nice little fire this morning. It's pretty. The sun came up. It's not that cold, so the sun helps. It's winter day. What you doing? Why are you collecting snow?
We gotta make sure that fire gets put out.
You improvising?
Yeah, we're hiking. We improvise it after we're done.
I really think that's the Marines.
It's
I don't know if it's going to be enough.
I'm taking it one too.
I think we need more.
We'd be fixing to leave. Fire's just about out. What cold weather advice would you have for people who are wanting to backpack and camp in the winter but might need a little encouragement?
Just do it. Like Nike.
Okay.
And carry a heavy pack.
Were you cold last night when it got down to 19 degrees?
No. Nope. I was nice and toasty.
Remember our first winter backpacking trip?
Yes.
That was 3 years ago.
My pack weighed like 50 pounds.
But we've learned a lot since then.
I think I brought every article of clothing I owned.
Did you need to use every article last night?
No, I prepared for a lot lower though, because it was supposed to be 10, so
Yeah.
I didn't need everything I brought.
Going back over this bridge today. All right, we'll swing back over here. The worst of it is past.